Hey guys, just got my order in from Tackle Warehouse, as you can see. Doing a little more shopping for my spring stock up. Gotta be ready for those bass for sure. All right. Let's see. Of course, they put your packing slip in there, tell you what all's in your order. All right. Let's see. First thing we got here, they send the Tackle Warehouse sticker like this when you make a purchase of $50 or more. Definitely a cool little sticker. I'm sure I'll put it on something. Not sure what yet, but definitely gonna use it. Alright, I'll go ahead and tell you this order that I made. I was mainly wanting to stock up on terminal tackle. Got a few soft baits in also, but a few new things here. I've used the fishing methods before, but where I fish a lot of creeks, they're super snaggy. And at a point, it just gets expensive. You get tired of losing all your lures. So I was updating a few of these to weedless that I'm gonna give a shot and see if I can keep from losing as much of my terminal tackle. All right, first thing I got here is some weedless wacky hooks. They're 3/0, 4 in a pack, as you can see, but it's an extra wide gap. What I was thinking with these being a 3/0, a larger size, I was thinking they would be excellent for wacky rigging bigger baits like a stick bait, for instance, any kind of Senko style worm, or even possibly an actual wacky worm, one of the large size ones. I know I have some of them I think that are 9 or 10 inch. They would do good on here. They got a little more body to them and everything, but definitely gonna give these a try. Looking forward to it. Alright, next thing I got here, still on the wacky rig there. I use it a lot in creeks because I find the current draws it down and it's just a supernatural presentation. So I went ahead and picked up some VMC wacky jigs. Here. Like I say, these are a smaller size though. They're 1/8 ounce. For when you're fishing in current, a lot of times that little bit of extra weight helps to slow the drift down, and it gives the fish a chance to more of a chance to attack it. I don't know if you're trying to get a reaction strike, you might want to fish weightless, depending on shallow water that is. But I find though sometimes if I slow it down just a little in the current, I catch quite a few more. But yeah, as you can see, these are 4-piece too. Never fished with either of these before, but I think it'll be a winner because you can see there it's got a wire. I'll actually pull one out of the pack for you guys to show you. As you can see there, it's got a wire weed guard there, and I think that'll help me to bounce off some of the sticks and smaller rocks that I get a lot of hang-ups in. I think that'll help prevent that quite a bit. I'll have to see. I don't know if my hookup ratio will suffer. We'll see. I'll definitely let you all know on that. So curious as to it myself. Okay, when I first got on the site there, I always check out the sale items first. Love to get a good deal. If you all know of any good deals, let me know for sure, because I love to fish, but I also like to save a little money when I can. But I found these Eco Pro Tungsten. They're called a Sick Boy Swim Jig. I picked up 2 of them, both of them in the bluegill coloration, because it's a key forage in my area for sure. But one of them is 3/8 ounce and the other is a 1/4 ounce, as you can see. I like swim jigs a lot because they have an action like no other soft plastic bait really does. pull one out here. As you can see, it's definitely bluegill coloration. Looks like it'll swim real well. I've never used these before. These are actually the first tungsten jigs I've ever had. And I definitely noticed first thing that the amount of tungsten that you need for the weight is significantly less. As you can see, it's got a smaller head on there. Normally I would think just by looking this would be a 1/4 ounce, but it's got a little more heft to it. Very nice though. But what I was saying about the action of a swim jig, as you can see in the water, all of the strands in this, they'll fluff up, like they'll fluff out for you, and they'll ripple and stuff. And I think it simulates like small movements of a fish, like if you've ever watched bluegill, when they're not scared, they'll sit in their fins will just flutter. They'll sit in place, but there's always like a secondary movement almost. So that's one reason I really like the swim jig. Plus, if you put a trailer on there, you can get a lot of different options, and it's a lot of vibration in a small package. So I can't wait to throw these. But yeah, let me see how much I gave for those. I know they were on pretty good sale. Let's see, Eco Pros, they were $3.74 a piece on sale. Which, I know that might sound high to those of you that are just beginners and everything, but that's a really good deal. It really is. You can buy, just for starting out jig fishing, I actually suggest go down to your Walmart, buy you some of the $1.50 jigs, and learn how to fish it. Get your rhythm down and your motion going, because you're going to lose some. Especially the biggest mistake that most beginners make with a jig, which I'm guilty of myself, did it for a long time, was fishing the wrong line. I don't know, most of the time you'll see a beginning fisherman, a lot of times they'll pick like a 10-pound monofilament line that it's good for a lot of things, don't get me wrong, but when you get to fishing that jig, that's a reaction bait for sure. You don't want any slack in your line there on the take, because they'll run up and they'll snatch it, but instantly they realize that something's wrong with it, so they go to spit it out. So I honestly, on the jig, you have to go up. I prefer to use braided line, just straight braid. I don't run a leader or anything, but like 65-pound braid is my preferred, but you might be able to get away with down to 30. I'm not sure, but yeah, like I say, definitely give it a try though. See about catching you some jig fish, because once you start to build a little confidence in it, they produce big fish. They really do. Okay, moving on here. Had to pick up one of my favorites. Can't find these anywhere around my area, especially in this color, but it's the Rick Clunn Classic. It's actually called a RCS TX. This color is Stealth Flash. I love it. I've got one that I've caught so many fish on, I actually had to glue the lip back on there. And don't know how to fish, just did it. Just did it because it's basically a lucky lure. So I'll try it again out, but I had to get me another one. As you can see there, it's got the back and the sides are almost more of a natural minnow pattern, and the belly of it is bright orange. In my area, we have a sunfish. I don't know if they're in your area, you'll have to let me know, but people call them a pumpkin seed. A pumpkin seed. Pumpkin seed, pumpkin seed. It just depends. But they have an orange coloration like this, very similar. And I think that's what they're mistaking it for, quite possibly, because they almost always hit it on the paws. I like this size. a lot for if you're throwing smaller bodies of water. Now if you're in a predominantly largemouth water, I'd step up to a larger size than this. But yeah, one of my best baits for sure. Had to get a second one. I'll probably end up with 2 or 3 more before the year's over. But give them a try though. I think you'll like them big time. Alright, moving on. Never used one before of this brand, but it's a jerkbait like the last one. This is the Yo-Zuri 3DS Minnow. It's a 4-inch, 9/16 of an ounce. But it's got a very holographic finish. As you can see, it shimmers there. And I was thinking, in a clear water situation, I like to not have much color for them. I like to keep them on their toes. They really, they'll focus to the eye and the flash on these is the big thing. So I'm gonna give it a try. It's a little different. It looks to me, it's a suspending. I forgot to mention that it's a suspending jerkbait. They call it 3D prism finish on it. I don't know. Like I say, never fished them before, but jerkbait is one of my go-to baits. I don't know. I just like to try different brands out. Every single one of them, you'll find they have a little bit different of an action in the water. Some of them will be a lot tighter and more subtle. Others might roll side to side. But, like I say, I like suspending a lot. I keep floating around too for fishing real shallow water. But if I get in any water deeper than 4 foot, I don't throw the floating near as much. I don't know, it just doesn't seem to do as well when the fish are further down in the water column. But, moving on. Next bait we've got here is a Boyd Duckett series topwater. It's the BDT 105. It's the color is Pearl Ayu or Ayu, I'm not sure. It's a Japanese bait fish. I know that. But as you can see there, the body is shaped more like a jerkbait. It's more of a compact and extended bait, whereas most topwaters will be short and much bigger around. It's got a little opening here. This will most definitely spit water out, but I think it'll walk more like a walk the dog. It's more of a hybrid there between the two. And it's got, I love a topwater to have feathered trebles in the back. Like I say, it gives them something to key in on. And I find that I actually get a better hookup ratio with feathered trebles as opposed to just your standard treble. Yeah, been wanting one of these for a long time. Finally broke down and said, hey, I'm gonna buy me one. So I did. There you can see. Another good look at it. Don't have a whole lot to say about it yet because never fished one. But I'm sure I'll form an opinion of it shortly, as soon as the topwater bite starts going good again. Alright, also, for the last year or so, I've just heard on and on about the Ned rig. I like to fish finesse myself, but I'd never tried the Ned rig. I've read about it, I've watched videos about it, it looks to be excellent. I always worry in my area where it's so snaggy, an exposed hook, I knew I would go through loads upon loads of the jig heads. And these, they aren't real cheap, they're quality made, most definitely quality made. I'll pull one out and show you. But this pack right here was actually $5.99 for a 5-pack. So you can see they're not cheap. They're definitely not cheap. But like I say, they're quality made, and if the Ned Rig's as good as everything I've seen, it's gonna be worth it. But I'll show you that there. As you can see, I got online and found the weedless mushroom head jigs. These are the Z-Man brand. They're actually specifically made for the Ned Rig. They're 1/6 of an ounce. As you can see, there's the packaging. But yeah, they look good. I'll go ahead and show you here. I went ahead and picked up the Z-Man Finesse TRDs here. This is actually what the jig heads here are made specifically for. I'll just go ahead here and rig a Ned Rig up for you, that way y'all can see what it's all about. I went ahead and got the bubblegum color. Normally I wouldn't have bought the TRDs here. I would just take any Senko style worm and cut it down to size, and you can actually make at least 2 out of each one. But you cannot find a pink color hardly anywhere. I know Yamamoto Senkos, the original, I know they carry them in pink, but other than that, I have not been able to find them anywhere in a pink color. And for some reason, smallmouth love pink. I don't know what it is. I think it's their curious nature, but they absolutely destroy bright colored worms, jerk baits, crankbaits, whatever it might be. I think it's something different, and they're like, what in the world are you doing here? And regardless though, they eat them right up. But yeah, I'll go ahead and rig one of these up here and show you. Alright, it couldn't get any easier. As you see, just pull the weed guard out of the way a little bit. Run your worm up onto the hook. And there you have it. As you can see, this plastic, these TRDs here, the plastic floats. So what it'll do when you cast it out, it'll actually sit at the bottom like this with the head down, and you can actually work it along in short little actions. And I think it mimics a bait fish down feeding from the bottom. Like I say, never fished these before, but I can't wait to give it a try. I'll definitely let you all know. Alright, I also picked up the net bait pack of Slims. I've had excellent luck off the pack of craws. They've got large flapping claws there, and when the bass are aggressive, they burn them up. But I saw these, and as you can see, they're much more finesse crawl. The claws on the full-size paca actually are 3 times as big as this, at least, I'd say. And they are hollow-bodied at the rear like a tube. But these are actually solid. I think when the bass are on a more finesse bite, I think this will do excellent. I like this color. Alabama crawl is what they call it. But yeah, I think on the back of a jig, or even just fished on a 1/0 wide gap worm hook, I think would be the trick. Alright, last but not least, had to pick up some of the old standard. Got some more Senko style worms. They're the Z-Man Zinkers. They're the Elastec plastic. You can see there. I mainly bought these to cut down for the Ned rig because there I saw no point in going ahead and buying the TRDs when I could just cut them out of these and get probably get about the same amount, but regardless, you can do it two different ways. Sorry about that, thought my camera was going off. But yeah, as you can see, these are the 5-inch, it's a 6-pack, green pumpkin color, just old standard Senko style worm, except for the fact they're made of Elastec. As you can see, they're super stretchy, it's super soft plastic, but very tear resistant. But that's it on this one. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, I appreciate it. If there's any questions, any comments, leave them down below. I'll definitely get back with you, see what we can do. Yeah, any ideas for a fishing video or anything, just let me know. Thanks again, and I'll catch you next time.